Alright, basic computer concepts is the topic for today. Now in this lesson, what are we going to be learning? First of all, we shall know the meaning of the computer. Then after that, we'll talk about the various parts of the computer. Then we'll look at the meaning and types of software. Then we shall proceed to find out the meaning and examples of computer peripherals. After which, we'll look at the computer as an IPO system. Now, first of all, let us know the meaning of the computer. What is a computer? Well, simply put, a computer can be defined as an electronic device that accepts data as an input, processes it, stores it, then gives out information as output. From that definition, we've been able to identify that the computer accepts data, processes this data, it stores the data, and gives out information as output through the output devices. So now let us talk about the parts of the computer. The parts of the computer. Now the computer is mainly divided into two parts, which is the software and the hardware. These are the main parts of the computer. Now, what is a software? What is a software? Well, simply put, software is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. Like they are written programs. These programs, called software, are actually responsible for enabling the computer to carry out tasks effectively. Without the software programs, the computer user will not be able to interact with the computer. Now that we've known the meaning of software, now let's talk about the types of software. There are two types of software. The first one is the system software, and the second is application software. Now, what is system software? Well, the system software are programs that are written mainly for the computer by the manufacturers and the programmers of the computer. Now, these programs controls the entire computer. They are also called the operating system. Without this operating system, the computer will not be able to run effectively. These are examples of some operating systems that we have, like the Windows, the Android operating system, the iOS, the Mac OS, and so on and so forth. Now let's talk about application softwares. What are application softwares? Well, application softwares are also programs that enables the computer to perform specific tasks. These are programs that enables the computer to perform specific tasks. Application software are also called apps, just like the apps you see on your phones. Each of them have various activity or various tasks they can help the computer user to perform. Now, like I said, they are written mainly for specific reasons. Now, these are examples of some application software. We have the Microsoft Word, the Notepad, Excel, Google Chrome, the Skype, the Pens, and so on and so forth. Now, let's talk about the computer peripherals. What are they? Well, simply put, computer peripherals are all the hardware parts of the computer, which are made up of the inputs and output devices. We said the computer is divided into two parts, the software and the hardware. The hardware are those physical parts of the computer that can be seen and touched. So when we talk about the computer peripherals, it has to do with all the hardware parts of the computer. Now let's talk about the computer as an IPO system. The IPO means the input process output system. So the computer has the ability to accept data as input from the input devices. It processes this data at the central processing unit. After processing this data, it brings out the results as information through the output devices. Now let's use a diagram to understand this better. Now the computer is an input process output system. First of all, we'll talk about the central processing unit, and is made up of the arithmetic and logic units, followed by the control unit and the main memory. Now data flows into the computer through inputs. Now those input devices brings in data to the computer, and there are various examples of input devices which include the keyboard, the mouse, the scanner, joystick, light pen, so on and so forth. Then it gives out information after being processed through the output devices. And some of these examples of output devices include the monitor, the printer, the plotter, the projector, speakers, headsets, and so on and so forth. Now let's talk about input devices. What are input devices? Well, simply put, input devices can be defined as those hardware devices that are used to send in data into the computer, and this include the mouse, the keyboard, the microphone, the joystick, the light pen, and the scanner, and so on and so forth. Now let's talk about output devices. Well, output devices can be defined as those devices that are used to bring out the result of computer processing. So after data has been processed in the computer, it is those output devices that brings out the results as output. And we have the monitor as an example. The printer is also an example of output device. The plotter, used for printing high quality graphics. The speakers is an output device. The headsets and the projector are output devices. So what have we been talking about so far? Well, so far we've been able to identify or define the computer. We've seen that the computer accepts data, processes data, and gives out the result as output. We've also been able to identify the parts of the computer, which is the software and the hardware parts. The software parts are programs, while the hardware are those physical parts of the computer. Then we were also able to look at the types of software. We said there are two types of software: the system software and the application software. Then we proceeded to looking at the computer peripherals, which are the hardware parts of the computer. Then we talked about the computer as an IPO system, as the input process output system. This is because it accepts data, processes data, and it gives out information. Then conclusively, we looked at the input and output devices. The input devices send data to the computer, and the output brings out results. So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. See you on the next one.